then it should go back to normal.
It'll be good. Yep. All right,
Okay.
I'm going to hit live now, and then you should be good.
Awesome. All right, cool. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, see you. Bye. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Everything, my whole room just went black. And then, yeah, that's just when I I just went to like 5G and I just like texted you on Discord. And I was like, power outage.
What was it, just a blown fuse, or what?
No, it was a blackout. Like a brownout, I guess. Like everything went off and then everything like turned back on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everyone was just waiting for you after that whole little incident.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I was just wondering if everybody would be able to like just hold on for a quick second because I know sometimes they're able to just like not actually start the race if they have like a quick technical issue. But lights out and away we go. FFR Raikkonen is awake.
Formation lap.
Is this formation lap?
Formation lap.
Okay, there we go. All right, formation lap. I was like, wow, that was a pretty good getaway.
No false alarm.
Yeah.
I know, we're so used to it not being no formation lap.
Yeah.
Thanks to this whole stupid bug.
Yeah. Although, you know what? I want to say somebody got disqualified last night. So I don't know if the bug is still there. Maybe they've kind of fixed it. I'll have to go back and look at what happened, but I remember somebody getting disqualified. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the tires that everybody's on. So FFR Raikkonen elected to go onto the hard tire. GTR Lion and Carson, as well as GTM Whisper on the medium with Camden on the soft tire. Camden probably looking to make moves on the soft tire. And another thing of note, Camden with a very good qualifying position historically has not been qualifying very well in gold, so it looks like he has definitely improved compared to where he's been. Very, very impressive qualifying position from him. Comparatively, Remsley with that P8, maybe not doing as well as we've seen him. Maybe in the race, we may see him move up.
We'll wait and see, but
yeah,
he's going to have some work to do.
Also, another figure, Zionical, a dominant figure of the silver class down in P11. Let's go ahead and see how he does in the race against the gold drivers. I'm very curious to see how that pans out. How do you think the soft tire is going to fare in the race? Do you think that the soft tire is a viable race tire out here in France, or would you elect to do a more conservative medium hard strategy?
Oh, well, I mean, I probably would do the harder compound, really. I would go hard because, like, just because the track tends to bring up tire temperatures quite a bit, and it's a bit abrasive too. So, yeah, I would have gone with more of the hard tire for this situation.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And here we go, and they are underway. It seems like GTR Lion off to a great start there. FFR Raikkonen, maybe some difficulty getting those tires fired up as we see Carson and GTR Lion make their way past. FFR Raikkonen really struggling on those hards as we see GTM Whisper maybe looking to come through as well.
bit of lag there, I think, from someone towards the back, but side-by-side action here I'm looking at between Rockstar and Ben Swervin. Swervin gets the best of that. He's moved up to 10th place because of that. But yeah, no, everyone's got through relatively fine, at least for the moment here. Top 5 seems like they're starting to spread out a little bit.
Absolutely, and Camden Luca is looking very racy there on the soft tire. For how long he'll be able to keep that up, we'll go ahead and see. With that, we'll see how long that soft tire holds on under race conditions. Like you said, the soft tire may not be very viable in the race for very long. And we'll see what tire Camden elects to go on, as well as these hard runners. Will they go long and maybe try to get onto that soft tire at the very end? With the lighter car, maybe that soft tire will be more viable on with the lighter fuel load towards the end.
I also did notice, too, that Rockstar did have a moment somewhere in that chicane. He's dropped down to 15th place because of that. But, yeah, it did say on the pit strategy, according to the graphic, it said lap 11 to 13, you go from the softs to the medium compound tire. So, whether that's viable, I don't know, but we'll wait and see.
Absolutely.
Raikkonen dropping the third place, but so far not doing too bad. He's still trying to at least keep up. As long as he keeps up with the top 2, he should be in a more viable position, I think.
Absolutely, and I think if he can hold on here through these opening laps, and even if he lets these cars go by initially, I think once we see these laps start to unfold here, he'll be able to claw his way back once we start to see the crossover happen between these hard and medium runners, and especially once DRS opens with especially the straights on this circuit and all the high-speed corners on this circuit. Especially if he's able to get these hards working, I think that'll be key.
Absolutely, and right now, yeah, they're starting to pull away from Luca. Luca is kind of struggling a little bit, I think, to keep up. He's about nearly a second behind the current top 4. He needs to close up that gap a little bit. He doesn't want to lose out, and more importantly, he also needs to make some moves. Speaking of that, Raikkonen goes around the outside of Carson for second place.
Very nice move by Raikkonen. Looks like he is able to get these hards fired up here, and he's able to start making some moves. Let's go ahead and look at what type of battery the drivers are using. It looks like Carson has elected to save some of his battery, with FFR Raikkonen really using that battery to get past Carson there. Carson maybe deciding to play a little bit of a longer-term play here. Maybe sitting back, maybe trying to use that DRS to his advantage here.
Lucas still trying to keep up as well, so he is now within DRS, so that's crucial for him. But yeah, like I said, needs to make moves, but right now that's not looking good in terms of his situation. But yeah, DRS enabled, and it looks like Whisper gonna be having to go for something on Carson. Oh, goodness me, that Ferrari's got some straight line speed, just a little bit.
Absolutely, as GTM Whisper is laid on the brakes, and will he get the move done here down into the chicane? It looks like he is able to. Let's go ahead and see Carson. Absolutely. It seems like Carson is not too worried about that, though. Carson seems to be perfectly content sitting back in P4. As he's able to try and go for a move. No, doesn't look like he's able to get a move done there, but Carson not afraid really to sit back in P4 and let this race develop. Being that, yeah. A little bit of a moment there for GTM Whisper as Carson is able to go right back around the outside and take back P3.
I don't think that's quite done yet. The Ferrari's still alongside, and he's got the better traction. He gets by too.
What a nice battle we are having for P3.
Absolutely, and Raikkonen still keeping. Oh, Whisper again! Another moment. This time he called with the curb there at turn 2. The car really got unsettled because of that.
Whisper really using all his battery here to maintain P3, while Carson is happy to just sit on 60%. and really play that long game. Really seeing this as a characteristic of Whisper's race.
Sir Charles, well, my goodness, that Aston Martin was quick down the straight. He really breezed past with Camden, breezed past Camden. Even with they both had DRS, that thing was quick.
One thing I'd like to point out here for the viewers at home is that although FFR Raikkonen is on that hard tire, if we look at his fastest lap, he's putting down a 1:33.9. He's one of the faster drivers out there on what is supposed to be the slowest tire. Very impressive pace by FFR Raikkonen.
Yeah, absolutely. But he needs to keep up with that DRS. He doesn't want to lose it to GT Online. He doesn't want to fall back.
That is very true. You know what? The other thing to note about that is he very well could have been using a ton of battery to put down that lap time. So maybe that is not an all-revealing piece of information there. As GTR Line is out in front, let's go ahead and see what the gap is. FFR Raikkonen is still within DRS, but just barely with the interval at 0.8 now currently. And GTM Whisper is now dropping outside of DRS, critically outside of FFR Raikkonen's DRS, which will put him in danger of Carson. Let's go ahead and look at that battle as they are wheel to wheel down the back straight going into the chicane. Will we see a change of the lead, change of P3?
He's definitely got that done.
Absolutely.
All right, so Carson's moved up to third place, but Elvin Remsley looks like he's also making a move as well. Camden's starting to fall back on those soft tires. It doesn't seem like that tire is working too quite well for him. And here comes Sir Charles on the inside of turn 11. Not quite close enough though to attack the Ferrari.
No, not quite, but I would like to see Sir Charles make a move maybe in the next couple of laps on Whisper, as it looks like he does have the pace and Whisper does. No, Whisper looks like he has recovered some battery.
He's coming a little bit back. I mean,
yeah.
If you're within DRS range, it is easy to get that back. But if you're in no man's land, that's a bit of a different story.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Miyao goes into the pit lane.
As we are seeing Remsley start to move up a couple positions. He started P8 and he's now up to P6, and it looks like he might start to be able to attack the two cars in front of him. He's getting awfully close to Sir Charles as we have a caution in Sector 1. That looks like one of the Ferraris has spun. You having a giggle, mate.
Yes, he is spun there at the end.
Yeah, he's currently P14.
Quite unlucky there. But meanwhile, Raikkonen doesn't want to go for anything. It doesn't seem like he's fond of getting past Whisper. Fond of getting past Lion. He seems to be happy where he is, I think.
He seems to be perfectly content sitting behind Lion and just maintaining the DRS, maybe trying to save a little bit of ERS behind Lion. It also kind of saves him from being under attack from Carson.
Absolutely. Ooh, bit of a bump there. Around the outside goes Cakes. I'm watching this little battle for 8. Luca doesn't seem like he has the grip. Yep. Man, those tires, they're definitely falling off for Camden.
Absolutely.
Luca,
and Camden is in a tough spot because if he boxes right now, he just might not have the tires to go to the end. So he's got to continue on. And for how long? At this point, maybe another 4 laps to try to get to lap 11 and slap on a hard tire.
Yeah, perhaps. But I mean, he could probably pit in the next couple laps and go onto the hards, I reckon. I think they'll go to the end from here if he decides to go in now. As Raikkonen is starting to lose a bit of ground to Lion, it seems.
I guess the thing is just what kind of pace would he have towards the end would be the big question.
Yeah, that's understandable. Oh, here comes Carson here to the right-hand side into turn 10. He gets through there.
Absolutely.
Very nicely done. Looks smooth.
Absolutely, very nicely done by Carson there. And FFR Raikkonen is now P3. We'll see if he's able to maintain this gap on Carson, as Carson looks like he has a little moment there and runs wide.
Had to correct the car there, seen in mid-apex, but he gets it going in the right direction, it seems. All right, begin lap 8 of 27. Line still leads by 0.8 of a second to Carson at the moment.
And it looks like Carson might fall out of DRS here on GTR line, which would critically put him under attack by FFR Raikkonen. It looks like Carson is using all the battery he can to maintain that DRS, and he does not have it.
No,
FFR Raikkonen.
No, he's got it. He got under a second before the detection, in the detection zone. Oh, a big moment there. Gee whiz. Great catch, though, by Carson. Yeah, I would probably be smiling right now if I was Raikkonen, because yeah, like I've said, he's in a very good spot. Oh well, I kinda say that. As Whisper tries to go down the inside at turn 11, holds him off there at 12. A little bit of a correction there from Whisper, but the Haas maintains the position. Carson's got DRS still. He was still under a second in the detection zone. That's how he's been able to maintain at least somewhat of a gap to try to keep up with line as best he can. But right now, it seems to be a bit of a tall order, I think, for Carson, from what it's looking like.
Yeah, it seems like Carson is struggling to maintain that gap to Lion out front. And Lion is really just maintaining a dominant pace out front on the medium. When will this medium fall off, and when will Raikkonen maintain a crossover pace on the medium runners? Only time will tell.
I would say probably the next couple laps, I would say that would be a good opportunity for the Hot to be in the more of a crossover point.
Yeah. Hopefully so for Raikkonen's race.
Gets fastest lap. That was 32.2.
Very nice lap there from Mailslayer.
That's a bit wide there from Whisper, watching his POV. Going completely wide there at turn 11. He's lost a fair chunk of time there to the top 3. He needs to close that back up. He has just got it, I believe. Yep, he has just got DRS.
Yep, it looks like...
Well, not quite close enough there.
Not quite close enough, and it looks like Carson may fall out of DRS here as we go on to the Mistral Straight, going into Sector 2, as he's currently sitting at 1.2 on GTR line as we head into the slow section of the circuit. Yeah, 1.3. He's not going to have DRS, but FFR Raikkonen will. Will FFR Raikkonen attempt to pass? Yes, he will.
Yep. Pretty much gets him with ease there into the back straightaway.
And so are we now witnessing that crossover of the hard tire on the medium runners? It appears to be so.
Yeah, I think the hards are starting to work now. because now Raikkonen is closing in on Lyon there. It's about less than a second separating the top two. And yeah, no, he's looking quite good at the moment.
Absolutely. As it looks like we are going to see Whisper try and go ahead and make a move on Carson as well. And will Carson be able to maintain DRS on Raikkonen? That'll be a key for Carson's race.
I think also more importantly, when will these boys pit? Well, speaking of that, Camden and Rockstar have pitted to get off their tires. Camden's actually moved on to... Oh, he's moved on to mediums. Interesting.
That is interesting, yes. A lap 11 medium, so he'll have to take those tires 16 laps. I'm sure it's a very viable strategy and that he has practiced that, so we'll go ahead and see how that pans out for Camden going forward. And Rockstar elects to get onto the hard tire.
Yeah, so he should be able to go to the end of the race from here. But now I think the top five need to probably, well, some of the top five need to start thinking about pitting. Whisper, though, is thinking about overtaking the Williams here. Oh, there's contact! Oh, no! They both spin. They both get around, somehow pointing in the right direction. That was a great synchronized spin.
That was, that was somewhat like synchronized swimming there. They both touched and they both did a 360, and they're both back on the track in the exact same position. The Carson in 7th and GTM Whisper in 8th with the exact same gap, half a second. It's unfortunate that they ruined both of their races with that contact, and I'm sure that'll be an incident report, but we're going ahead and we're starting to see some of the medium runners pit on lap 10 here. So it seems like some of these medium runners are electing to come in a little bit earlier than normal, maybe trying to undercut some of the people around them. I think that this strategy will be effective as we see GTM Whisper be awarded a 3-second time penalty. 3-second time penalty is normally awarded for violations such as either contact or track limits.
Yeah, I got that from multiple warnings.
Yeah. So we'll see how that affects his race going forward. That is unfortunate for him.
They would breeze past Carson there for 5th. Hello to Segrist. Yeah, last week's race winner from Zandvoort. So right now hovering the back of Carson. Down in 7th place for the moment. Alright, Lion, when does he pull the plug? Think about it, too.
If I had to guess, I'd think he's going to come in on lap 12.
Well, your guess is correct. Done that perfectly. He's up into the pits. He'll get off those tires and get to a set of hards. Same with Whisper and Carson, who follows suit. Alright, well, let's see. Where is the Aston Martin, though? That's where I like to know. Where is Sir Charles?
Yeah.
He's coming down the main straight. Lions just turned off the pit limiter, and, well, he stays in front.
He does stay in front, but with these warmed up hards, how long will it take GTR Lion to get his tires up to temperature, and will Sir Charles be able to close some of this gap up?
And also, just Raikkonen start thinking about pitting it soon, because otherwise, the undercut's something that he'll have to play factor to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like FFR Raikkonen will definitely have to make an overtake on track at this point, considering how much faster these hards are going to be. When FFR Raikkonen boxes, he's definitely going to come out behind some of these guys.
but he'll also be on the fresher and grippier tires as well.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
And I think he's going to be absolutely rapid on that tire.
Oh, hello. That's McLaren that spun. That's Segrist.
Zionical is feeling pretty racy here as he goes wheel to wheel, Sir Charles, and they have some contact. And Zionical is absolutely holding up Sir Charles. He has every right to, although they are on totally different strategies. I mean, not really, but yeah.
Yeah, right now battling for 8th and 9th. Yeah, it's the Segrist and Remsley and C. Rizzy to get on to a set of hards to the end of the race. So the top 3 have yet to stop, of course. That's quite expected because obviously they're on the hard compound tire.
Absolutely. As I'm on board with GTR Lion, and what I'm looking at right now is how fast the gap between GTR Lion on these one-lap-old hards and the front runners, Ben Swerven, FND Cakes, and FFR Raikkonen, is getting reduced. Because that'll indicate how much of a gap they're going to have to make up when they pit onto their mediums or softs.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gap right now between Raikkonen and Lion. It's 19.6 seconds, and it is decreasing.
It's decreasing rapidly.
Yeah.
By over a second a lap.
Yeah, that's how powerful the undercut really is in this game. It's ridiculous. And yeah, Raikkonen continues to stay out. Same with Cakes and Ben Swerving.
Yeah. I mean, they will absolutely have a rapid tire with whatever tire they put on at the end of this race. But they will have to make an overtake on track.
Swerven's come into the pits, so he's elected to get onto a set of mediums right away, it seems.
Now, if you were Raikkonen and you're seeing the pace of GTR Lion, do you come in right now?
Yes, absolutely. Because, yeah, the more you stay...
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're fine. It happens. No, the more he stays out, the more he's going to lose time to Lion, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay out for too long.
But do you think that if you were to stay out longer, do you think there is any benefit to maybe having a fresher tire at the end?
Yeah, in some ways, but if you pit right now... Oh, hang on. Actually, I'm going to hold that thought because I am seeing clouds in the horizon here. I wonder if maybe we might see some rain coming.
That would be an absolute game changer. If we start to see some drops on track, anybody who hasn't pit right now could have an absolute game-changing strategy. FFR Raikkonen would thereby have this thing absolutely secured in the bag. As we see FFR Raikkonen elect to go ahead and pit here. And I'm on board with FFR Raikkonen to see what tire he selects and where he will come out on track. As a matter of fact, I'm on board with GTR Lion to see how far ahead he will come out.
He'll definitely come out quite a bit of a distance, I imagine.
Yeah, I think so, as it's not even close. He takes the lead. He's well into turn 1. As we see Camden come out past Zionical, Sir Charles, and Remsley. FFR Raikkonen coming out in P6, and he's going to have to chase down 5 people, make 5 overtakes on track if he wants to win this race.
Yeah, and he's got 5.8 seconds to make up as well, which is quite a big margin. Though it's closing on Sir Charles. Meanwhile, in front as well, Zionical and Camden. Oh, gee whiz, that's close.
And GTM Whisper goes past FFR Raikkonen.
Oh, interesting. That is something that Raikkonen should not have, is someone overtaking him.
And with these cooler, as we see a spinner, Sir Charles spins. And could there have been contact there to force that spin, or did Sir Charles just lose the car on his own? It's hard to say at this point.
Well, judging by where the car is, that definitely would give me an indication that he might have had some contact, I imagine.
Very possible, as we see a caution go out in Sector 3.
That might be Sir Charles just trying to get out of the way.
Very possibly could have been. The other question I wanted to ask you is, with these cooler temperatures on track, you know, with the clouds out and whatnot, could these mediums definitely be the better tire to be on, considering that it may be more difficult to fire the harder compound?
Yeah, I mean, with cooler track temperatures, you definitely want the most grip as you possibly can. I mean, like, obviously, let's say if it's damp, of course, you want the soft tire because it's the better tire with mechanical grip. The means is too bad as Remsley. Holy moly, that Alpine's quick in a straight line. Gee whiz, that is very fast. But, yeah, I think with Raikkonen's situation, he needs to get past these cars quickly. And then, of course, not to mention, he also has to get towards Lion and also hold on as best he can for the end of the race.
Absolutely. That's the other thing, is these mediums have to go 10 laps. And we kind of saw that the crossover was 10 laps. I mean, granted, the hards he's going against are 4 laps, 3 laps, and 5 laps old, so he does have that going for him. But we did see there was a point of crossover on these mediums, and it will be right around where this race ends. So we'll have to see if Raikkonen can hold on to the very end.
That's if he can, of course, the front. That's the main goal for him. But meanwhile, he has to get by these two, and that's going to be the more frustrating thing. He doesn't have the battery either, compared to some of the guys. They're about nearly equal on that.
No, Zionicle has a little bit of battery here, and the other thing is that Zionicle will have DRS, so that'll be a great equalizer for him.
Well, here we go. DRS open. Yeah, no, he doesn't seem like there's nothing Raikkonen can do.
No. He's almost going to have to really use the slow-speed traction zones to get close, but the problem is that he just can't really get a pass done in those zones. So this is definitely going to be a very frustrating situation for him. Oh, here we go.
Now he's going to try to go for a move here.
Yeah.
He's got it done.
Yeah, very nice by FFR Raikkonen there. Very aggressive driving. And he really just did what he had to do.
Absolutely, and now he needs to get past flying teammate Remsley for second place and then hunt down the other Alpine, who's currently 3.3 seconds ahead.
And that gap is coming down, as we saw it even in this battle, that he shaved off 1.2 seconds on the gap between him and GTR Line. So in clear air, it's very possible that this gap will come down considerably.
Marco gets a penalty there for multiple warnings. Let's see what the Haas has got in store here. He needs to get by this Alpine really quickly. Alright, down the back straight. He's got some battery, but it doesn't seem like he's got the straight line speed.
No, it really doesn't. And if you're Remsley, you're definitely defending with everything you've got to try and get GTR Lion a win on his 100th race here at TCR. Remsley is giving it everything. He's down to 3% on his battery. FFR Raikkonen, he knows he's got 8 laps to get this done and close the gap. He's got 3 seconds to close the gap onto GTR Lion. So he might be pacing himself a little bit.
Absolutely. But yeah, he needs to get past this Alpine fast. doesn't want to stay behind him here.
No.
Otherwise, this is costing him more and more time, and it's also going to be hurting his tires, I imagine, too.
Absolutely. His tires might be overheating in this DRS train, and Remsley is really doing a good job of keeping FFR Raikkonen behind, as FFR Raikkonen is going to use the DRS here to try and get... Oh, Remsley is doing a very good job here of keeping FFR Raikkonen behind and costing him a lot of time.
Yeah, he's just got more straight line speed.
Yeah.
Enough straight line speed just to hold him off. I mean, holy moly.
Yeah, FFR Raikkonen is doing a smart thing here, though, and saving all of his ERS for this one decisive move here, I believe. Oh, and it's, I believe he's still saving ERS and just using his DRS for the overtake.
Bit of a wiggle there. Wiggle there
as Giggle gets a 3-second time penalty. I believe you could predict the future there.
Pretty much, I suppose.
And it looks like Remsley might try and come back here on Raikkonen. No.
Nah, he ain't close enough.
Maybe a little bit over-optimistic there on my prediction, but... Zionicle, though, able to keep up with Remsley, which is a very impressive showcase from Zionicle here in the gold class. Normally a silver driver, dominant force in the silver class. Good showing here in the gold class for his first outing. Very impressive.
I think we missed as well. Raikkonen finally did get past Remsley, so now the hunt is on.
Absolutely, as
Lion.
Yeah, absolutely. As Raikkonen has already shaved this time down to 2 seconds, as when he was behind Remsley, it was about 3.2 seconds.
Westbrook gets a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Yeah, 1.9. The gap is starting to shrink a little bit. Lion's using the battery as well to try to pull away as best he can.
Yeah, it seemed like Lion was trying to save as much battery as he could while FFR Raikkonen was battling with Remsley, but now with Raikkonen on these fresher tires, Lion is using about as much battery as he can to keep, Lion is using as much battery as he can to keep Raikkonen away.
Grizzly and swerving as well, wheel to wheel as they make their way up towards turn 10 there. It gets through there, the McLaren. Oh, Alfa Romeo nearly got close enough, close but not close enough there, I should say, to get past Ben Swervin there.
As we see FFR Raikkonen close the gap down to 1.3 seconds. Another 0.4 seconds, and he will have DRS on GTR Lion.
Okay, gets through. Zionicle, that's for 4th place. He also is on the medium tire, so keep your eyes on him as well. Could make a bit of a charge.
Yeah, he's kind of doing the same thing that Raikkonen's doing there and kind of charging through the field of hard runners. Now, with the medium being about 3 laps younger than the hard runner, that does seem to kind of negate the crossover that we saw earlier in the race between the medium and the hard, and almost equalize it as just a faster tire. Although we are starting to see that FFR Raikkonen is no longer catching GTR Lion, and
as Ramsey goes off the road. Was there contact between him and Cakes, I wonder? They were close to one another.
That's very possible, as we see Cakes and Zionicle go through on Remsley. So Zionicle may be a little bit of a beneficiary there from potential contact from Cakes and Remsley.
Gap right now, almost 1 second between the top two, but Raikkonen needs to close up if he wants to have a chance to fight for the race win against the Alpine in front of him. He won't have DRS, unfortunately, but he is now within a second. If he can stay within that second in the back straight, he's It's game on for the race win.
Absolutely, as he's close to within zero .8 seconds now. Seems like FFR Raikkonen's car lacks a little bit of straight line speed, but he definitely makes up for that in the slow speed corners, which he does use to his advantage, as it seems like he's very experienced passing in that type of unorthodox situation with his aggressive driving style. It's very fun to watch.
Well, here he comes, and he's within less than 3/10. And here we go. Raikkonen now pulls through into the race lead. With just 5 laps to go in this race.
Will GTR Lion be able to fight back here and maintain within the DRS on FFR Raikkonen, or will FFR Raikkonen just have so much pace that he's able to pull away? We will find out.
Yeah, because he's going to have to pull away quite a bit here. But Lion's still keeping up, in fairness. It's just about half a second separating the top two. I think Raikkonen's tire still might be okay in terms of it having some grip, or enough grip, at least for him to, you know, keep him at bay. All right, got 4 more laps to go from this race.
Now, it definitely seems like GTR Lion does have enough pace with the DRS to hang with FFR Raikkonen. Will be interesting to see how this race progresses with the degradation of both the medium and the hard, with the hard being about 3 laps older on GTR Lion than FFR Raikkonen's medium tire.
Eight tenths is the gap, but he's still closing. Still got DRS. He's closed up by 4/10 in that main straight alone, or back straight alone. That's fast. Gee whiz.
Absolutely. It seems like GTR Lion's car does have a lot of straight line speed, which he's able to use to his advantage on this track.
4/10 is the margin. Still within touching distance, as Meow Slayer has retired in the pits, so he's pretty much had enough.
Yeah, and unfortunate race for Meow Slayer. As we see FFR Raikkonen go ahead and run on down the pit straight, with GTR Lion in tow within that DRS range, followed closely by FND Cakes, about 2 seconds behind GTR Lion there.
Yes, he's got 3 laps to try and catch up to Raikkonen and maybe try to go line up an overtake. But as it stands right now, the battery situation, Raikkonen's got slightly more battery than what GTR Lion does.
As we have a caution in Sector 1, we have a car moving very slowly on track. I believe we have a car stopped on track. It was hard to see who that was.
I think that might have been Meow's AI.
Okay.
Correct. It probably just despawned now.
I think it was because I wasn't able to select that car. Yeah, you're right. So we have GTR Lion within 0.6 of FFR Raikkonen. He's able to maintain within DRS range of FFR Raikkonen. So FFR Raikkonen got the move done on him, and now GTR Lion is able to just maintain within DRS. If you're GTR Lion, do you just maintain within DRS now and just try to make a move on the final lap? Is that basically what you think GTR has in store?
I mean, that's probably the best situation he can probably do, is just stay within DRS range, and then until we get to the final lap, as long as he has the pace to do it, yeah, then I would say go for it.
Now, his only problem at this point is that FFR Raikkonen also not only is out in front, but also has more ERS. So he would probably be able to neutralize any move. Do you think that at this point it's pretty much FFR Raikkonen's race to lose?
Tough to say, but right now it's pretty close to right now with these two. I know it's not over just quite yet. I did see Raikkonen make a slight error. He'd had to burn off a little bit of battery.
I did see
Rizzi
that.
overtakes Swervin. Yeah, Swervin overtakes Camden for 8th. I think we could see maybe line up some kind of move here on Raikkonen.
As they are going neck and neck into Sector 3.
Yeah, so far it's pretty close between these two. Half a second. Line will have DRS. He'll have at least about a couple of chances of trying to overtake Raikkonen with the power of the DRS. And here we go. Final lap. Lap 27 of 27 commences.
Absolutely. And here we go on to the final lap. So this is GTR Lions' last chance to make a move, make something happen, if he has the pace to do so, as we go on to the slow speed section, which leads on to the Mistrial Straight. One of the best chances for overtaking on this circuit. Let's see if Lion is able to do anything.
I don't know if he can. I mean, Raikkonen pulled up a huge margin there. And Line E is not close enough there to attack Raikkonen.
No, Raikkonen's sitting on 20%.
Yeah, Line just needs to keep up. He needs to get closer though. He needs to hope that Raikkonen makes some sort of mistake. In fairness, in order for him to line up a move.
It seems like Raikkonen's pace dropped off somewhat here towards the end of the lap, as GTR Lion had a little bit of a snap there. But Raikkonen has driven a fairly clean lap so far.
Yeah, honestly, I think that might be all she wrote here.
Yeah. But P2 is a good result for GTR Lion. FFR Raikkonen from pole to the win. You can't fault that. As we have Zionical with Remsley bringing up P3, Zionical with his penalty ending up in P4, F&D Cakes P5, Ben Swerve in P6, GTM Whisper P7, Rizzy P8, Camden Luca P9,
and Segrist will finish off in the top 10 with Rockstar in 11th. Gigo and Carson will finish 12th and 13th. Unfortunately, not the races that they wanted. And with Sir Charles getting involved in a little bit of an incident we saw a little while ago at the chicane. So, yeah, that's pretty much what the order will be. Carson sets fastest lap with a 31.5. Just to claim the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, victory for FFR Raikkonen and Alpine getting a strong 2-3. Not a bad job for them in the constructors wise, but Raikkonen from pole to victory lane here at Le Castellet.
Yeah, definitely a dominant performance. Maybe some hiccups there, but overall, you would say nothing really to it for Raikkonen. Uh, I really liked his strategy. The hard medium really worked out well for him. He managed the hard tire stint very well.
Mm.
He pit onto the medium at the perfect time. He had to pass 5 cars to win the race. He got it done cleanly enough. He avoided incidents, and he deserved the win, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, at the point where the mediums were kind of being even with the hards, he managed to hold on and managed to get the win. Fair results from Raikkonen. Right, I assume they're all in the comms box and whatever.
Yeah, I'll tell him to join. Comms don't join.
Yep, I'll pop over there too.
All right. All right. I'd like to start with Remsley. Congratulations on your podium this evening. Considering that you started in 8th, you made up on track. You made up 4 places. Go ahead and talk us through your race. I know you ended up on the podium because of that penalty, but that was quite a convincing performance.
Yeah, I mean, just tried to have a clean race and saving my battery for the most part, but once the tires started to wear out, people were catching up quick in the corners. It's running a pretty low downforce setup. So,
Yeah, that was quite evident actually when watching it too.
yeah, I mean, I only got like an hour of practice in maybe, and I didn't really change the wings. So I was probably a bit too low on that, but it was definitely easy to defend the DRS straights from people. Yeah, I think it was like lap 22. Doing decent, and then I'm not sure who it was, but at the end of the DRS straight, they kind of stuck their nose in. So I thought they were gonna go through the corner, and they didn't. So I ended up locking up a bit and going wide. I think I dropped back down to 6th, something like that then. But since I had 1 lap pressure top, I was able to make that up at the end of the race.
Yeah, it seemed like especially going down the Mistral straight, your car was just an absolute rocket ship, which like overtakes were just incredible with your car.
Yeah, I almost didn't even have to use battery for some of them.
Yeah, just like on pure DRS almost.
Yep.
And then like defending without DRS, were you just like barely on the battery pretty much, or?
Yeah, maybe like 5 to 10%, depending on how close they were at the exit of the corners. But yeah, really, I didn't have to use much battery for that, and the regen was really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you were able to conserve a lot of battery throughout the race, which is good. I guess on the low downforce setup, how was your tire performance degradation throughout the race? Do you feel like maybe it was a little bit worse than the other drivers around you?
No, honestly, the tires felt fine. It was just the cornering speed. I wasn't really able to keep that minimum speed that other people were. So I was really at the end. I was struggling to Dan Raikkonen's DRS just because of that. I think I was 3/10 behind him at the end of the second sector, and then he pulled out of my DRS in the last sector just from the softer compound, higher downforce, I presume.
Wow.
He was super quick this race. Congrats to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent performance. Did you have anything that you wanted to add, Katie?
No, no further questions. But other than that, congratulations on your P3. That was a very respectable result from you for sure.
Yeah, thank you, Remsley. All right. And then moving on to second place, we have GTR Lion. And for everybody out there, I'd just like everyone to know this is GTR Lion's 100th race in TCR. So congratulations on second place, as well as congratulations on this being your 100th race in TCR. That is a huge milestone. Just how was the race for you in comparison to Raikkonen? Would there be anything that you would change in regards to your strategy to to maybe fight Raikkonen differently?
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm pretty stoked to be on the podium on my 100th race. Appreciate the congratulations here. Yeah, I wouldn't have changed my strategy. I think where I live, there's a heat wave going on, and I have the AC has been running for quite some time, and my eyes are very dry. So midway through the race, one of my eyes was watering very badly. And I wear glasses, so I couldn't wipe it either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was doing my best to stay calm and not do anything, but midway through the race, even my nose started to kind of run because of it. But anyways, it was a good race. Congratulations to Raikkonen. He drove a pretty good race. I'm not sure if I didn't have this issue, if my pace would have been better on the hards. But I really was just trying to manage my right eye pain and driving consistently as much as I can. So pretty happy with P2, double podium Alpine for the home race in France. So can't ask too much. I wished for a win. My goal was to win, honestly, but I'm sure there's more to come here.
Absolutely. It seemed like when you pit onto the hard on lap 12 there, initially you were absolutely flying on that hard tire to where when Raikkonen pit, I believe on lap 14, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was lap 15, because I think there might have been a 3-lap differential. You were like so far in front of him. That was pretty amazing.
I wasn't injured expected.
Sorry?
My eye was fine in the beginning. Like around lap 18-ish.
Yeah.
Started to get irritated with the air.
I see.
That completely sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bummer. Yeah, that's a bummer. And if I'm not mistaken, you were also on the podium last week. Is that correct? Or how many weeks in a row have you been on the podium?
This is my second one in a row. The one before, not sure. Maybe it's my third.
Yeah,
I have quite a bit of
it might
podium,
have
but no
been.
wins yet. I'm still hungry for a win, so I'll get it hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't got a race win yet.
Yeah, I was very unlucky with the safety cars the first few races. Like comes out after I pit, or it comes out after I cross the pit lane. It's just one of those two. But no safety cars today, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm yet to win a race here this season.
Well, hopefully it might not have been on your 100th race, but it might be on your 101 race. You might get that season win. Season.
Yep,
Yeah. So.
I hope so.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to
I'm pretty
that.
happy with the results today and overall with the season, and Alpine is bringing home good points for the constructors, and my number one goal is just to get on the podium today, and Dyson cake would have been a win, but pretty happy with today.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that Alpine has been doing a very solid job this season. So yeah, congratulations to you and congratulations to the team. And Katie, would you like to add anything, or did you have any additional questions for Lion?
No further questions, but other than that, congratulations on your second podium in a row. And yeah, hopefully you get that W soon. Yeah, I think you definitely deserve one for sure.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome, and that moves us on to today's winner. That is FFR Raikkonen. Raikkonen, congratulations on your win. Great start there. I mean, on the start you did give up two spots there to two medium runners. You fell back, but then you were able to kind of manage the pace on the hard. Kind of got to that crossover spot where you were able to kind of start to get a little bit of pace back there. You pit onto the medium, and then you were absolutely rapid there, past 5 cars for the lead, and you were able to maintain that lead for the win. Kind of talk us through your race.
Yeah, first of all, thanks. I'm super stoked. It's my first win in TCR. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I wasn't really expecting that coming into this week because it's not really one of my best tracks. Don't really feel comfortable around here, so I was already surprised about the quali pace. Although it was kind of due to the track getting better and better towards the end. And then I thought for the once we did go into the formation lap and I saw everybody behind me being on the mediums, I was kind of like, well, I might have screwed up big time here, seeing everybody behind me. So I knew the start would be good compared to everybody else. I wasn't really sweating it there at all. Was just trying to make it clean out of turns 1 and 2, not get any warnings, any damage or anything. And from there on out, it was just trying to manage the pace, trying to stay in the DRS with everybody else, and just trying to attack once I'll switch over to the mediums. At first I was kind of nervous when I came out of the pits from the hards to the mediums and saw how far ahead GTR line was. I was like, well, it's going to be quite a tough task, especially with Ramswood being in front of me as well. I thought he might have made it a little bit harder, knowing that I was racing his teammate for the win. But all the overtakes were pretty clean. And I noticed out of like 2 or 3 corners, I was always getting like 2-3 tenths compared to line. So I was just trying to focus on good exits, getting the gap down from lap to lap. And yeah, towards the end I was able to get him pretty easily on the DRS straight. And then I was just trying to manage my battery for like the last 2 laps, just to be sure, just to be safe for the last attack from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of backing that up to some of the overtakes that you had on some of the other cars, one thing that we noticed on some of the cars that had a lot of straight line speed is that you were having to go for overtakes in some of the more unorthodox parts of the track. Like in some of the slower speed corners. So that was one thing that I thought that was very impressive about your racecraft is that you were able to get overtakes done in some of parts of the track that weren't very common for overtakes. So I commend you on that. Yeah. And then also, did you feel like your car might have been down on straight line speed in comparison to some of the other cars?
Definitely, yeah. I don't want to share my setup in case I'm gonna race tomorrow again.
Yeah.
But I definitely knew I had more downforce compared to everybody else on the field.
Yeah.
I knew it would be kind of tough to overtake on the straights. So I was really focusing on getting good exits and then using a little bit of battery and the better grip that I have on my tires to just pass them before it really gets to the top speed.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe with a little bit more downforce there, maybe you were able to save a little bit of tire as well. And maybe that worked in your advantage. And yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna ask you is, did you plan on racing tomorrow? And do you think that some of the stuff you learned from today would help you in tomorrow's race?
I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to race tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because the 2 times I did reserve so far, both of the times I had a pretty bad race.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to like just let this week be it. Just take the win and
yeah,
next week.
Just kind of enjoy it type thing. Yeah, not kill the vibe.
Yeah. So,
well, you never know. You could get back-to-back wins.
yeah, true, but compared to the golden class, the platinum class is like a different caliber. So I'm not sure if I would actually fight for the win.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I'll just see how tomorrow goes, how I'm feeling, and then I'll decide like spontaneously.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And did you have anything that you'd like to add, Katie?
Not really. I mean, you guys kind of just point it all out, but congratulations on your win, Raikkonen, and good luck to you for next round of the championship.
Thank you. Thanks for the comms this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, Raikkonen. Congratulations to everybody on the podium. All right, and with that, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for tuning in to another week of TCR Gold. It's been an amazing race. Once again, my name is Checking Tim, and I'd like to sign off. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, good night.